Did you know Africa is doing extremely well in the fresh and frozen potato trade? Some African countries exported over 264 million US dollars worth of fresh and frozen potatoes, while other African countries imported over 127 million US dollars worth of fresh and frozen potatoes. Potatoes gave Africa a positive trade balance of over 136 million US dollars. Egypt, South Africa, Morocco, Kenya, and Tanzania were those that exported millions of dollars worth of potatoes, while Zimbabwe, Uganda, Zambia, Rwanda, and Malawi were sadly importing potatoes in the millions of US dollars. This tells me Africans, especially women and youth, have no business complaining about unemployment, lack of business opportunities, because these are opportunities worth millions of US dollars within and around your countries. Hi, my name is Faustina, spelled F-O-S-T-I-N-A. My last name is Mani, spelled M-A-N-I. I am the Global Trade Engagement Director at Better Grains. I'm also the founder of a marketplace called Mothers of Africa Mobile Soko. I believe Africa can feed herself. I believe Africa can profit from agricultural trade. That is why I am championing for an agricultural market revolution that favors Africa. One of my all-time favorite Bible verses is found in Isaiah 55. As the rain and snow comes down to water the earth and make it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. This statement perfectly describes agriculture as Africa's solution to agricultural transformation in identifying the seeds to sow. I recently celebrated my son's traditional marriage. As we gifted our future in-laws with dowry, they also blessed us with lots and lots of potatoes, cabbages, and bananas. All of us left with abundance, which was such a gift, especially considering the effects of drought in Kenya, especially for my people in Ukambani. After ensuring everyone who participated had more than their share of the gifts, as the mother of the groom, I found myself with more potatoes than my husband and I could consume. Before I knew it, the potatoes started to bring forth and bud. Then I remembered Isaiah 55:10. For as the rain comes down and the snow from heaven, and does not return there, but waters the earth and makes it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater. I immediately knew I had to plant those extra potatoes. My only problem was where. I had no space to plant because my water harvesting project has seen me run out of space in my Nairobi home. Then I remembered my family had land. It's not lush green, but rather extremely dry. In fact, at that time, it was more gray, not brown, with hardly any green. Then I had thought to myself, I wonder if I could still use my recycled water to grow those potatoes in sacks. So I googled growing potatoes in sacks, and much to my surprise, it was possible and it could be done. Secondly, I realized growing potatoes in sack was a solution to my limited land space, so I planted those potatoes in sacks in both Nairobi and Makueni. I was not sure if it would work, but one thing I knew, that even in the dry areas, we still buy water which we use for our daily household chores, and that is how I expanded my recycling project to Makueni. Much to my surprise, my potatoes in Makueni have been very successful. I simply planted them on an unused veranda or porch of the house and ensured that I hedged them with plenty of thorn branches. If there's one thing God has gifted semi-arid areas with, is thorn trees. There is no short supply of those in the semi-arid areas. I needed to protect my potatoes from hungry goats, cows, and chickens. My potatoes have flowered and I'm expecting to enjoy my first harvest soon. As I thought about my journey, my thoughts went towards my people. See, As I planted my potatoes, my people in Ukambani and pretty much many African countries were waiting for rain. As I watered my potatoes with recycled water, many wondered if the soapy water would not kill the plants. A myth believed by many, but my potatoes kept on growing as my people waited for the rain. Not to mention the price of potatoes has skyrocketed. My potatoes have flowered as my people still wait for the rain. The weather forecasts have predicted poor rainfall, not to mention the delayed rainfalls. Yet, my people are still waiting for the rain. I will harvest my potatoes as my people still wait for the rain. Who would have thought a simple Bible verse would have led to such an innovative disruption and dismantling of such limited beliefs with regards to using recycled water to grow food? Much to my surprise, the potatoes in Makueni have done better than the potatoes in Nairobi. I'm suspecting it's the lots and lots of sunshine that has everything to do with it. I also could not help and think about how we are all gifted with potatoes. But many of us ate all the potatoes. Like most people, me included, we never remember to keep some seed to sow as an investment towards future food. We make bread of every gift God has given us. What is even sad, as Africans, even the bread that has seeds that cannot be consumed, like avocados and mangoes and pawpaws and watermelons. We eat the fruit, which is a bread, and spit out the seeds with complete disregard of sowing food for the future. My water recycling project has turned me into a seed collector. There are seeds everywhere in Africa, in the trash that is in our homes, on our street. Yet Africa continues to be food and nutrition insecure. My prayer for Africa remains that our eyes of understanding would be open. That is why I keep championing for Africa's agricultural transformation. It will only happen when Africa takes full responsibilities for feeding herself. That is why African marketplaces need champions who are willing to pay the price to be disruptors and dismantlers of unhealthy limiting belief, especially in agriculture. Sowing seeds is how Africa will address climate change and deforestation. Africa must start sowing seeds instead of spitting them out. Become a seed collector. Germinate seeds. We all know how to do it. This was the first biology lesson we learned in primary school. Do not ask, where will I plant them? First germinate those seeds. Then as they grow, your eyes and your mind will start to think, where can I plant them? A journey of 1,000 miles begins with one step. Growing potatoes has slowly evolved to growing garlic, onions, tomatoes, and other foods I consume. I'm convinced that Africa's food security must begin at an individual level. If I can grow my own food and still have some extra left to replant and sell, then I am creating solutions to Africa's food security issues. Imagine if 1,000 or 1,000,000 Africans started doing the same. We would not only be able to feed ourselves, but we would also make food affordable. My thoughts recently have been towards my African people. As I look at youth and employment, I cannot help but wonder, what if the youth in the arid and semi-arid parts of Africa simply started using recycled water to grow food in sacks or plastic bottles, which are literally everywhere across Africa. I have been using the waste from my cereal shop to enrich the soil that I used to plant potatoes in the sacks. As the potatoes grew, I also got to harvest all sorts of beans. I grew up eating the leaves from the bean plant. They are delicious, especially when cooked with ghee. I have not had to go out and buy greens as I normally would have. Instead, I'm simply using the waste from the pre-selected and sorted beans I sell, and trust me, that's been lots and lots of bean plants. Planting potatoes in sacks was such a game changer in Zimbabwe. I was pleasantly surprised to see how Zimbabwean farmers were able to bring the price of potatoes down by simply planting potatoes in sacks. They were able to produce such a large harvest. It was more effective because they were using less space, more precision watering, and less labor intensity. When I look at the current price of potatoes, I'm so glad I sowed the seed, because I will not be buying potatoes for a while, and most importantly, I will eat my bread and remember to keep some seed for sowing. I no longer have to buy potatoes. That is money saved. I still make money from selling some potatoes. Who said recurring revenue streams can only come from online work? Africa, wake up. There are plenty of agricultural market opportunities that favor us no matter the climate, the region, or the season. My challenge to you is try to grow some potatoes in sacks. Start small to feed yourself, then sell that few extra that you have. If successful, expand and grow to more potatoes. Then sell them in your markets, especially on market days. Africa market days are normally once a week. So create a schedule of other market days in other villages around you. From there, venture into the next town, then the next city, then the next county or state, then the next country. Before you know it, you will be selling potatoes to those neighboring countries that are importing potatoes. Food for thought. Is your country importing potatoes? Are you going to be enriching others by buying potatoes from them, or are you going to grow your own potatoes and save money and also earn some money in the process? I dare you to start with just 1 or 2 potatoes in a sack. Thank you for listening to me. I'm humbled that you would take time off your busy schedule to listen to me. Please feel free to reach out if you're interested in partnering with me in transforming Africa's agriculture, especially for our youth and women, through my social media platforms. You can also email me at faustina@faustinamoney.com. Please subscribe to receive updates on Africa's agricultural transformation on markets, especially the African markets. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you so much. God bless you.